In his epic poem, Paradise Lost, the writer John Milton wrote, "There's a restlessness in the human, a dissatisfaction with this earth. He longs for the paradise that he lost in the original Garden of Eden. And he longs for the paradise yet to come in heaven. And so while he's on this earth, he's in a state of restlessness. He knows that it's not everything he wants it to be. There's something missing." Well, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news for all of us is that we've been wonderfully created in the image of God. The bad news is we're terribly fallen. God took the dust of the earth and he created the first man. The Bible says that he then breathed into that man, and man became a living spirit. The Bible says that after he created Eve from the man, that the man and the woman walked every day in the garden with God. They walked in perfect fellowship. Two spirits connected to each other. The spirit creator walking with the spirit man together in absolute spiritual harmony. But God said to the man and the woman, "In the day you eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the garden, the day you eat of the forbidden fruit, the day you disobey me and walk away from me, on that day you will die." Now, he didn't mean spiritual or physical death. Adam and Eve lived for another 900 years. What he meant was, on the day that you disobey me, you will disconnect the source of your life. You will be disconnected from my spirit. You will no longer be connected to me in fellowship. And when you're disconnected from the source of life, you will begin to wither and die. Like a flower that's been plucked from the earth. You can put it in a vase, but eventually it will die. And in the same way, Adam and Eve began to die. They didn't die right away, but they did eventually die physically. And before they died spiritually. That very day they died spiritually, disconnected to God. And they began to wither. And there is still in humankind that longing. Pascal, the great French mathematician and philosopher, said that there is in all of us a God-shaped vacuum. St. Augustine said that God has created us for himself, and we will be restless until we find our rest in him again. I would ask you today to consider, are you spiritually connected to God? You must be spiritually connected to God if you are to have the fullness of life.